What's up, everyone? This is the Fraser LeVay podcast. I am live from my parents' basement, back home visiting on a little vacation. But today we are talking my new website, Fan Neverland, sports, culture, entertainment, nonsense, because we're talking the Olympics. Here we talk sports, we talk travel, but today is Olympic men's basketball. The power rankings, some incredible bets I have for you. I would call them the best bets. Who to watch. And yeah, obviously Team USA, the team to watch. They are the most talented by far. They have the second or third best player of all time. I would say second. They're incredible. I don't think they're going to win. There is the most talent in the history of the game in the world right now. And the crazy thing is about it, out of the first NBA All-Star team, which is the 5 best players in the league last year, 4 aren't American. Only 1 is. Think about that. The best prospect since Lebron, not American. The MVP, not American. The Defensive Player of the Year, not American. The 2 back-to-back first-round overall picks, not American. What this translates into is the greatest Olympic basketball tournament of our lifetime, of all time. This also means that boomers, you need to stop with the dream team is way better. The United States, they can barely beat South Sudan, blah, blah, blah. When the dream team played in the Olympics, the best non-American player was the 6th man of the Chicago Bulls. Let me repeat that. The best non-American player was the 6th man of the Chicago Bulls. There was no talent internationally, and I would say not amazing talent in the league anyways, but that's a different subject. The new worldly talent, the unique FIBA rules, the one and done knockout round where it's kind of March Madness style. Someone gets hot, Jamal Murray gets hot, the Joker goes crazy, Giannis goes God mode. Who knows what's happened? It's going to be a little March Madnessy, and with the shortened game times of 40 minutes, if you don't come correct, you're out. So the USA is up against it like they've never been before. Let's not even count, I think, 2004 when they had a meh roster, I would say. Not the greatest roster. And also people, the people who like to hate on the 2004 team, again, the old heads, they also seem to forget the Seoul team in the Jordan era that didn't win gold. They've got bronze. And it was a similar idea to what happened in 2004. A little bit of a watered down team. So let's not forget that let's not hold 2004 against millennials. That's nothing drives me more crazy than old heads. In my day, blah, 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 like Charles Barkley, he talks about how hard it was and how people are missing games, how people are switching teams. Charles, you demanded a trade multiple times, force your way out of 2 teams. You played an average of like 50 games over your last 6 seasons because you didn't take care of your body. You told people you didn't want to be a role model. All these things. I like Charles Barkley as a player. I think he's hilarious as on TNT. But his takes about previous generations, not pretty self-serving. Not a fan. Anyways, let's jump into my tiers for who can win the Olympics. Tier 1 is the no-brainer, United States. And there's no real reason to get into this, but let me give you some fun bets to do. I also think the most important player for the U.S. will be Jrue Holiday. In a tournament where there's always random point guards who just catch fire all of a sudden and you can't stop them, Holiday is the world's best backcourt defender. And I think he'll be leaned on to drown out some players who start catching fire. So interesting, keep an eye on him. Here's the bets. I say do not bet on Team USA at the beginning of the tourney. Minus 500 favorites, which means if you bet 100 on them, you only get $20. I think the gap is way closer than that. I'd much rather take France, Canada, Serbia, and even Germany. You can combine those and you get like plus 700 to 1. You can take the field, a bet I'm doing over and over again, plus 290 on FanDuel to take the field to win a gold over the United States. So I love those odds. Take those. Obviously, the United States should win. They're absolutely the most talented and incredible. But just from a value standpoint, you gotta go somewhere else. If the United States somehow lose a game early, like maybe they lose to Serbia out the gates, and then they have a couple of real close games, and they squeak in for as a second seed. There's no way they're going to be a third seed, but I bet that drops down to like minus 200, maybe even odds. Then, all right, go at it. Go plus, go $100 to five. Bet whatever you have. If they're plus 100, now that's some good value. Minus 500, not really the greatest value, especially when it truly is going to be a little March Madness style come the knockout rounds. Do bet them to crush South Sudan. That close game will not happen again, especially if the odds come in and like plus 30 points, plus 20 points, or minus, I guess, 20 points or 30 points for the United States. They're 43.5 favorites in the first game. That was like a 1-point game. They're absolutely going to crush South Sudan. They won't be screwing around. They're going to make a statement. That will be a statement game, especially if they lose to Serbia or have a close one with Serbia. Also, something if you want to bet the United States, but terrible value, LeBron James, plus 340 currently. Here, at least you get some value versus the minus 500 for them to win. And you've seen LeBron, he's the main guy in all these warm-up games. He's getting the last shot. So barring something crazy, it looks like he's kind of going to be the leader. And whoever makes this Olympic vote for MVP, I'm pretty sure they're going to be fans of the game and just marvel at LeBron and all that kind of stuff. So unless Steph Curry all of a sudden just goes crazy in the last two games, I would expect LeBron to win it, especially just good value versus betting minus 500. Tier 2, upset alert. I've got the second best team in the Olympics as Serbia. I bet on Serbia to win gold at plus 1,400. I watched every game of the FIBA championships back in August, and they're dominant over everyone, including Canada. And I was shocked they lost to Germany in the finals. I actually lost a lot of money. I bet the house that they would win against Germany in the finals. So in the FIBA Americas in the semifinals, they crushed Canada. The score was within around 10 points, but watching that game, Canada never had a shot. They were just swallowing them whole. Bogdanovic was a beast. Not only did they lose, the only player they were missing was Jamal Murray, I believe, out of like the studs on the team. So Canada gets Jamal Murray. Is he worth 10 points? Sure he is. Serbia was without Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, the best teammate in the world, the best player on earth who makes other players around them better. Is he worth 20 points? Hell yes, he is. So I love Canada with all my heart. I'm Canadian. I want them to win. Also call this an emotional hedge because, maybe it is an emotional hedge, but I just think Serbia, if a gun to my head and you said, Fraser, bet your house on Serbia or Canada, I would go Serbia. Does not mean Canada can't beat them. I would just say it's like 52% Serbia, 48% Canada. So Serbia betting advice. Do you bet them to win gold? I think actually they're at plus 1,500 now. And something to think about. You can either wait till after the USA game. If they beat the USA, then that value is going to go down. You're going to be at like plus 1,000 or plus 800. If they lose to if they lose to the USA in game one, that could jump to like plus 2,000, maybe more. So that would be a fun little, hey, depending on what you think, you could get good value or lose out on value. I'd rather just bet it right now because 1,500 is a lot for a Nikola Jokic led team. When can you ever bet Jokic at plus 1,500? I'm going to do it. It's like betting on Mahomes. It's a little different, I guess, with him playing against the Team USA. I would bet Jokic to be the MVP, but you get the same odds as Serbia winning gold, so no real point there. Another bet I love for Serbia. They're plus 700 against the USA in game one. Yes, the USA is better. Yes, the USA should win. But plus 700? Yes, they beat them in the warm-up games. But the United States barely beat South Sudan in the warm-up game. They barely beat Germany. In a real game, I would assume the United States blows them out. Similar in this game, Jokic shot bad in the early warm-up game. Don't expect that performance again. I can see an upset right out of the gates, and nothing the U.S. media wants more, the Olympics media wants more than U.S. loss right away, because then content, right? Third on the list in the upset alert tier, Canada, my home country. My heart wants to put them first, but I just can't. With their lack of height and the differences I covered, they just, I don't know. They just don't have the height. I guess that's really the best way to put it. If they end up playing Serbia, as I mentioned, with Jokic, the height, we've got Kelly Olynyk, who's from my hometown. Love him. And what's his name from the Mavericks? Dwight Powell. That's our starting front court. It's tiny compared to a Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo. Like the United States front court absolutely dominates us. Serbia front court, the French front court. I'm sure, the Spain front court. We are more talented than all those teams aside from the USA. But really, like with the goaltending rules and just all outs, we really are tiny. So that's why Serbia is ahead. That's why I'm a little nervous. They obviously lost the United States. The FIBA lost to Serbia, as I mentioned, without the Joker. And yeah, that doesn't mean they can't win. They have a puncher's chance. Of course we do. They're just ranking them a little bit lower, just being honest. That's all I'm doing. What else do I have on Canada? Oh, it was amazing that they beat everyone handedly. France handily. France has lost 5 of their games. I wish I could change this article around. I might have to put them lower. They've lost all their warm-up games, 4 or 5 of them. So not looking great. But love Canada. Love them as they can definitely beat the United States. It's just going to have to be a perfect game, which we have in our locker. Murray gets hot. SGA closes it out. All that stuff. It just kind of like OKC in the playoffs. When you need that rebound, when you need those 3 rebounds, or all of a sudden you lose an offensive rebound when you're finally catching up, that's where you get hurt. Some goaltending where you're allowed to goaltend and you can just do putbacks or swipe the ball off. So crossing fingers, the height doesn't hurt us too much. We're going to do great. We're going to medal. But just that game against Serbia, that game against the United States is going to be a tough one. For future betting, there's not really any great value on Canada. Canada's plus 1,000 or plus 1,100 to win. I like the value plus 1,500 on Serbia. I think we're even at worst. Us being better, value-wise, I'm taking Serbia. What I would do is live bet the comeback. SGA is a fourth quarter king. He does all his damage in the fourth quarter. He chills out, gets his easy points in the first half, third quarter warms up, and then the ball's only in his hands. And he absolutely goes to work. If you can live bet parlay, live bet whatever SGA's over is and the Canada win. Do that over and over. And definitely, at least if you can't do a parlay, at least Canada to come back and win. We will do that. SGA is to be the MVP is plus 1,300. So probably better to do that bet versus the plus 11 or plus 1,000 for Canada to win. Since if they do win, he will probably be the MVP, barring an injury. Canada at third place at plus 400 is good value, but who wants to bet on finishing third place? That's a weird bet to make, so I don't like that. Tier 3, the contenders. 4, I've got Germany. Germany won the World Championships, just barely lost to Team USA in the Olympics tune-up game. Franz Wagner and Dennis Schroeder, just like aforementioned Bogdanovic, are superhuman come international basketball. They are unstoppable, and it's unexplainable. The team itself plays the perfect FIBA game. They pass the ball great. They have incredible team continuity. They're very strong. They shoot the lights out. So I like them fourth. I like them fourth. Also, you can get them plus 3,200 or more on betting sites to win the entire Olympics. So, I mean, if you got, I don't know how much money you make, but if you got $10, you have $25 just to throw on Germany as a flyer, that's pretty crazy odds for, like I said, if they're on the other side of the bracket and they're playing Canada or Serbia, let's say they're playing Canada or France. They beat France, Canada and the USA play each other. One of them knock each other out. Now, Germany just has to win one game against one of these teams. It's not improbable. And at plus 3,200, wow. Back to Canada, I forgot to mention the group of death. The other reason I'm a little bit down on Canada, we're in the hardest group I've ever seen in any sport of all time. Greece making it the last chance qualifier with Giannis is not fair. It's not fair whatsoever. The Greece team is not great at all, but Euro teams find a way in basketball. They always have shooters, random position guys who can play well enough. And then they have Giannis, who's absolutely unstoppable. But yeah. Number 5 on the, what do we call this tier? The contenders. Australia. Patty Mills turns into LeBron James in the international game. They play tough. They have tons of size, strength. They gave USA their all. They gave them a hard game in the tune-up game before the Olympics. They have a decent blend of NBA talent, international experience. So they're also like Germany. They're plus 4,000. So if you like either them or Germany, flip a coin, whatever you want. Take one as just a little flyer for a little $10 to win 400. Why not? France. What has happened? I know they're just warm-up games, but they've lost 4 or 5 straight. They've lost all of their tune-up games for the Olympics. They're always a powerhouse in international basketball. They have Victor Wembenyama, who's an absolute freak. Obviously, I don't know, I'm not making news here. They have Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, by far the best front court in the tournament. And then they have sneaky veterans like Evan Fournier and Nicholas Batum, who play really well in this game, and then just a ton of role players. They truly, on paper, they look like they'd be one of the best, the top 3 teams. But somehow they lost to Canada handily. So I'm a little scared. Although it might be the time. I haven't looked at their odds lately. They were plus 1,500. If those have dropped significantly, I would still take, unless they're the Australia plus 4,000 or the Germany plus 3,200. If they're still plus 15 to plus 2,000, I guess I would take Australia or Germany as my flyer bet. I did bet France 1,500 to 1 and Serbia. I got them both. But this was before the play-in game, so now I'm a little concerned about that bet. Tier 4, the long shots. Greece. 2 words. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Never been able to pronounce his name. This man has 2 MVPs, runners-up or 3rd in MVP voting multiple times, and you can go on about his greatness. Greece beat Slovenia's Luka Doncic to make it to the Olympics in the last chance qualifier, and you just can't write him off as going nuclear. With that said, him and his brother are the only NBA players on the team. If you call his brother an NBA player, I guess you have to. He has no help. So, not looking good. With that said, a lot of random teams win. There's always a random player you've never heard of just gets shot, like some Stravopoulos, Duplis guy goes crazy, like Greece did back in the Euro Cup 10 years ago, whenever it was. So, you can't write it off. I bet I like there. Giannis is plus 3,500 to win MVP. So, another little fun $10 bet. Why not? My overall betting, if you want to know, I'm doing a ton of money on the field versus the United States, plus 290. I then did a middle amount on France and Serbia. And then I have yet to decide. I may do a little sprinkle on like a Giannis. Actually, I won't do that because I don't think they're going to win. But yeah, maybe like a Germany plus 3,200 seems fun. Or even Australia. Maybe I won't. I'll just keep where I am. But if I were you, I would do that. Next, in the long shots, 8, Spain. Spain, the golden generation is gone. While Rudy Fernandez is still on the team, he's older than LeBron, and he looks twice as old. One person to watch, if you like the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler, is a beloved Juancho Hernan Gomez. Everyone loves him. Sadly or not, his skill set does not match his looks or how good the movie was. And don't confuse him with his brother, who also plays on the team. While I think they shouldn't win or really have any chance, they are number 2 ranked in the world, even though the rankings make 0 sense. They played Canada tough in the quarterfinals of the the FIBA Championships. Canada still won. And Canada's Jamal Murray. So I don't like them. That's why they're on my long shots. They have a lot of size, but that's it. Tier 5, the no chance. I've got Brazil. We're getting slim pickings here. Brazil gets lucky with a game against Japan, but aside from that, I wouldn't expect them to win another game. And I even see Japan maybe winning that game. They have one player, NBA player, Gui Santos. He averages 3.6 points and 0.6 assists more than I do. So, I don't know. It's not great, probably. 10, Japan. I actually think I should put them higher than Brazil after saying that out loud. They have some NBA talent. They could sneak up on teams. They've got Rui Hachimura and Yuto Watanabe, who can absolutely pull the trigger from anywhere. He could be one of those guys who goes crazy. I would do that. Bet Japan to win over Brazil. And maybe a sneaky upset game too, because they could be an upset alert team. I'm going to put that down. Upset alert team. Not really to make it far, but I could see them easily beating Brazil and then knocking out some random team. Maybe gets a 3rd place in the seed, makes it onto the playoffs. Yeah, why not? That'd be a fun. Japan to make it out of the group. I bet you get good value, good odds for that. Tier 5. We're just happy to be here. Puerto Rico. There's only one reason to watch, and that's Grand Theft Alvarado. Jose Alvarado is one of the most fun players to watch in the NBA and truly plays like you'd hope everyone would play. He's really good too. He's instant energy, infectious personality. Alas, his team is not good, and do not bet them. They could beat South Sudan, so odds are good. A little Alvarado over and Puerto Rico win. A little parlay could be fun. 12, South Sudan. I hate you, South Sudan. I don't mean this negatively, but you guys giving the USA a run, like what you gave them, probably gave the USA a jolt I wish they didn't get until the knockout round. I wish they were cruising, dominated every group stage game. I know they barely beat Germany as well, but I really wish they didn't get a wake-up call until it was too late. So now they've got this wake-up call. Now it's that whole speech, we got to take this shit seriously. No more bullshit at the start of a game. Blah, 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 blah. And they're going to be even harder to beat than they already were. So, thank you, Sudan. I don't hate you. I just hate what happened in that game for other betting public and anti-American betting fans. I do love, as mentioned, the USA to absolutely dominate South Sudan and make up for what happened before, just to kind of prove a point and get all the Skip Baylesses in the world off their back. So that is the Olympic breakdown for you. FanEverland.com for a ton of sports articles. Inspire Travel Elite for travel articles. I'm going to the Olympics. I'm watching Canada in all their group stages, and hopefully they make it out and watch some of their knockout round. See you there if you're there. Fraser Lebay Podcast. Have a great day. Enjoy the Olympics.